to just take a moment and just share our experiences with Titanium, how long you've been with them, whether, you think it would be worth for someone that's watching, that's thinking, hey, should I join Titanium or not? So I'd love to just like I always say, like this channel is all about growing together, inspiring each other. So give it on what your honest opinion is about Titanium, and we'll go from there. Does that sound cool, guys?
Cool.
Yep.
Jacob, you can go first, brother. I'll close this out.
Absolutely. So my name's Jacob. I'm 25 years old. I've been in Titanium since right at like the first week of January, and I've just kind of took off and dedicated. I did something brave that most people wouldn't, and just quit my day job and went straight into it and just said, I'll figure it out as I go along. And, honestly, I don't think that there is a price that you can put on what Titanium offers. The amount of help that the hands-on, as much as they're involved with the community, it's priceless, from going through and helping you on specific deals every single day, specific situations to help sharpen your skills. Who else does that? I mean, we have a meeting every day, or at least Monday through Friday, to talk about things. We share our wins. We talk about things throughout the business. We get all the help we need. And it's been amazing. I mean, I've done nothing with real estate in my entire life, and I think I've closed and funded 6 deals now, and looking to get stronger and grow more and more every day. But again, no amount of help or gratitude I can give to Cassie and RJ, and everybody else, Nick and Justin, and I mean everybody. It's priceless, man. So I honestly think that they don't charge enough. I mean, it's a reasonable price, but man, it just offers so much, and I love it. I mean, there's just so much to learn from, and any weird situation you can get help on. And yeah, I just love it, man.
Thanks, Jacob. Appreciate that, man. That's totally awesome. One thing before, Sean, before you go, one thing I do want to add there is, and you're probably going to go through it, it's not just RJ and them, it's the community.
Yeah.
How not only do we share the wins, but we also share losses, right? Mm-hmm. And people come together to help each other out. I mean, it's still a tough business. Jacob, I still remember, bro, when you started, you called me out of the blue. Well, you reached out to me, right? Your dad saw my channel or whatever it was. Yeah, so
it's funny enough. Yeah, I was about to say, funny enough, 3 days into me just nonstop, just information overload, just absorbing in as many RJ videos through the university. I got a little fed up actually, and was like, man, I just, I got to stop training so much, and I just need to just go ahead and call someone. And I made the call using, everything that RJ's laid out perfectly. And that would have actually been a 1-call close on my first dial. I mean, it was on the market though with an agent, and it was long story short, it couldn't happen. But so funny enough, my dad was like, hey, along with RJ's is another TU member. You should watch some of his videos to see how he rocks and rolls. He's pretty good. And, just check him out. And it was Caesar. And I just went on and clicked it. And funny enough, I liked what I saw. I was like, man, this guy's a killer. I feel like I could learn some things from him. And I didn't know any better, but I was just eager to get feedback and hear something back. And I thought that, I was too little to submit something to RJ and them. So I was like, man, I want to reach out to talk to Caesar. And I sent Caesar my call randomly out the blue. It was just, hey man, can you help me out? Can you give me some feedback on this? And just sent my call. And Caesar called me and we had an hour and a half long conversation, just going over the call. And it's people like that. It's not even just Caesar. So many people in Titanium that you can get. I talk with so many different people every day we've got TU members that's joined up with us, you know, to kind of squad up and grow stronger together. And yeah, man, that is a funny story. Yeah, it's a crazy story.
Yeah, we did. Sean, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I was thinking how I was excuse me, I was thinking how I was going to say this. So I wanted to be in real estate my entire life, literally majority of my life. And I come from kind of like an urban background, a lesser financial, people had less opportunities kind of where I came from. Like growing up in a trailer park, you're fucking poor, bro. That's just what it is. It's what it was. So I always wanted to be in real estate, but I always thought it was too far, like out of my reach. Like, how the fuck is a guy like me, like my background, going to get into something? I know that's not probably the best thinking, but honestly, I always wanted to be in real estate my entire life. I've always thought, how am I going to do this? And I guess it was like 21 or 22. I was thinking about going and getting my realtor's license. I was watching, I don't think there's a person that's watched more of RJ Bates content than myself, to be honest with you. If there is someone out there, I'd be surprised. So I've watched every single video. And why was I watching so much of his content? One, out of all the gurus out there, I find it was the most relatable to me. Like, he rolls honest and keeps things simple. And I've always wanted to be a part of like Titanium. Like when I saw they were doing Titanium University, it was like, man, how do I get to be a part of that? Because it has been the most life-changing experience probably of my life, honestly. I mentioned this in an implementation call that, I've never had a W-2 in my life. At 19 years old, I was convicted of selling cannabis. So from 19 years old on, I've been a convicted felon. And it's so hard to get a good paying job where they don't check your record. That's just what it is. That's just the truth. So, there was all these, I felt like I was always like, couldn't get the job I wanted to. I would apply for these jobs, but it would never work out. Like they would just always go in a different direction because it looks horrible. It just is what it is. It's the reality of the game. And I always wanted to own my own business. So when I seen like what wholesaling was, because my grandfather passed away and like my mom is the matriarch of our family. So it was like she had to get as much as she could for my grandfather's place because there was siblings involved and everyone wants their piece of the pie. You know how it is. So at the process of getting rid of my grandfather's house, I learned about wholesaling, and from that I then dove in and seen all RJ's videos and just kind of engulfed myself in that ever since. And it is such an unbelievable community. I can't stress that enough, like how amazing it is. Like Caesar said, yes, we do celebrate our wins, but we celebrate our losses too, because while it looks easy, like just lock something up under contract and flip it to an investor for a little bit cheaper. The idea and the concept is so freaking easy, but it is anything but easy. You have to engulf yourself in this. And I'm not sure it would be possible for me to do this without Titanium University behind me, honestly. Like if I was just rolling solo dolo and just flying by the seat of my pants and doing this just by myself and watching guru videos, that kind of shit, I don't think it was possible. Titanium University actually makes it possible for me to be a successful wholesaler, because I'm not sure I would be able to do it without them, like leaning on them with all my questions that I have and learning from everybody's different experiences. One thing I will say about the group, I think everybody kind of comes from like a different walk of life. Everybody is different. But one thing we all share in common is we all want to see each other do better. We all want to see each other grow and succeed. It's been a life-changing experience for me. Can't stress it enough. I give it a 10 out of 10. And I'm a fucking honest dude. If I wasn't feeling that in my heart, I would tell y'all, trust me. But I believe that in my heart. Like, it's been a life-changing experience and I don't regret it for a second. Like Jacob said, at the end of the day, it's not a lot of money compared to like what you get in value. It's unbelievable, all the shit they offer. It's unbelievable. It really is. So it's actually cheap when you think about it, like compared to what other stuff out there, cost, and different groups out there are charging. It's really, in comparison, it's not expensive at all. Life-changing experience. Don't regret it for a second. One of the best decisions I made in my life.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it. I couldn't agree more. And the fee it's lifetime membership. So it's not like you have to pay that every year or every 5 years or whatnot. I think you guys hit up on a lot of things. I mean, for me, a few things is one, the fact that RJ and Cassie are on our calls, like the two main people. Other groups, communities, from what I've heard, they have coaches that will do their implementation calls and they'll pop in once a month or whatever it is. RJ twice a week will do live call review, right? So TU members will submit their call review, their live calls, and literally just like how you see him on what's his video? He did it on me. Call review. He would do a call review and analyze it on where you missed the mark, right? On how you can improve. Same thing with Cassie. Cassie's on there twice a week showing us how to comp, elevating our comping level. So to piggyback on what Sean said, can I survive without TU? Probably. It's going to take me a long time, right? And so what TU have done for me is it shrunk my learning curve by a whole lot because of those implementation calls, because of people like JW, Todd Chun, Travis Wells, right? Like guys that's been in the business for a long time, who's got wealth of knowledge, And one thing that I love about RJ is like, he doesn't even care about us JVing with him, right? Because some gurus, they're there because they want those JV deals. Like RJ would be like, like we put something on Facebook, like, hey, we have this. RJ can pick it up. He's got buyers. But instead, he'll be like, hey, send it to Braden, send it to Danny, send it to this guy. He'd rather have us succeed, right? He wants us to succeed and kind of like lift all of us up instead of just lifting himself up.
Yeah, I think RJ touched on this once before. It's like TU is bigger than money. Like RJ has tons of money. Cassie has tons of money. Once you have money, you can get more, and more is great. But it comes down to like wanting to see people succeed. Like TU is a special group. I think Cassie and RJ, one thing they're great at is knowing where each person is at within their wholesaling journey and being able to push them to get to the next step in the journey. Like, so they're great at knowing, like, where you're at in your wholesaling career and pushing you to get to that little bit, to that next step. It's 1% better all the time. They're great at knowing where each person is and how they're trying to get that person a little bit better, like to the next step. It's been amazing. It is. It's great.
Absolutely. And, one thing that I do want to mention, like the other day, right? Like as soon as he made his property leads live calls, I posted on the Titanium Facebook page and the free version with my property lead affiliated link. Who's the first person to like it? RJ. Bro, if I were to do that at, I don't know, Case Harvey's group or someone else, they're like, take that down. Like, you do that one more time, you're kicked off the group. RJ's like, heck yeah, go for it. Why? Because he knows that I need that $250.
TU is bigger
and the
than
other
money.
person
really
needs the $250 more than he does. You know what I mean? Like, for me, that's 5 extra, or close to 10, eight free leads. For him, he can afford 800 leads. You know what I mean? And so he'd rather have us grow. And so for me, that's why I love him. I joined TU, August, I believe, our team, July or August of last year. And the reason why we did it was because my business partner also was like, hey, should we join TU? I'm like, bro, I just been watching his short videos, and because of him, I locked up 17 deals and 3 of them went across the finish line. Right. And you might say, well, gee, Caesar, that's pretty low winning average. I'm like, yeah, but if I were to say I give you three deals across the finish line, you take it, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, you gotta go through the mud. You know what I mean? And so for me, when I found out there's a TU and we can join, I'm like, bro, we already made our money before we even paid for it. right? Because before I learned about RJ, it was 3 months. I couldn't lock up any. I actually locked up 2 deals, and both of them didn't make it, right? Because I was so stuck in doing creative deals, and nothing was happening because it was too complicated. I'm not saying anything bad about creative deals. It works. When it's time for me to buy my own properties, I will probably do it creatively as well. But when you're starting, creative deals is like college and PhD, and cash deals are literally just high school. And like, if you haven't gotten your GED yet,
that's very
why
well
are you going
put.
for the PhD? So it slowed me down. And so a couple of things. One, with titanium, you are going to lock up your deal. You're going to learn how to talk to sellers to lock that. Now, whether that deal makes it to the finishing line or not, we don't know, right? Because it all depends on your comping skills. Yeah. So, but at the end of the day, overall, for me, it's a 10 out of 10, not just because of RJ and Cassie, but also because of the community. I mean, Jacob, dude, like, I know Jacob says it, and like, I hope that I've added value to him and changed his trajectory. Sean as well, and a few other people within Titanium. And by the way, guys, within our community, we have people who's got capital, but they don't have time. And so when they see someone like Jacob, Sean, or myself, and I'm like, you guys are consistent, let's make a deal here. I'll be your capital partner. Dude, all of a sudden now you have leads coming in. It's not costing you anything. Obviously, it's a little bit, they're going to take a cut, but hey, that's fine. They deserve it if they're putting up the money and investing in you. You know what I mean? So I know I kind of went on a rant there.
I think that I want to add one more thing that actually I feel like none of us talked about is that NTU, there's a very high level of comfort. You know what I mean? Like you can be vulnerable. You know what I mean? You can show your addresses without having to worry about people going behind you. You can talk about deals, what's going on with the whole situation. But not only that, I mean, you can talk about what you're struggling with,
So true, Jacob.
Yeah. Like what you are struggling to overcome in your day-to-day life. And like, how do you move to the next? RJ will literally call your boss and quit for you. And like, yeah. And so, but
there's growth and vulnerability. Yeah. And
I was about to say,
allow
in
people
that high
to be
level
vulnerable.
of comfort, there's a huge amount of confidence to gain. Huge. And that's what turns you into a killer, is being able to just be open about everything and not having to worry about nothing.
Just live your truth and come and bring it every day.
Yes,
absolutely. 100%. Now, that being said, guys, we probably just have a few minutes left here. Hey, Nick, how you doing, buddy?
We're not sucking up or nothing.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard all of that, man. We were just talking about TU and why we joined and our experience so far. But just like I've always said about this channel, it's the truth, right? The good, the bad, the ugly. So we talked about the pros, why we love TU. If there's one thing that you can change, like what would it be? I'd love for you guys to think about that because, it's important to also share that, right? And if you don't have an answer to that question, I'll go ahead and answer it right now. So I guess I'll go first.
What was your question, Caesar? I didn't. What was it? What was your question?
I just said if there's one thing that you would change, you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, anyone that's going to be watching this, they want to know the pros and cons, right?
Yeah.
So for me, the cons, obviously, it does cost money to join TU, but that's an investment in yourself, right? So if you want to invest in yourself, I think it's a great investment. Now, there had been time when I first started where I didn't have the money to invest. So I had to work hard to get the money to invest in it. So that might be a position where you're at, but guess what? Reach out to people like Jacob, myself, Sean, right? We might be able to work on a deal together where you get your first commission, your first assignment fee, and now all of a sudden you have a deal with Titanium. You know what I mean? Even if you guys don't have the capital for Titanium right now, just give them a call. It doesn't hurt. At least they have your information. You get to know what the deal is with TU. And I don't know if they do this, but if they do, hey, they might even be able to make a deal with you where you pay on a monthly. I don't know. I'm not saying that they do that because I don't see behind the scenes. But all I know is that Cassie and RJ are very reasonable people. And if they know that you actually are passionate about succeeding in this, I'm sure just knowing them personally, they're probably more than likely to lend out a helping hand.
Yeah.
I'm not part of that business, so I'm not saying they will, but hey, all I know is that if I were on that side and I don't have the capital, but I want to join, I am picking up that phone and I'm going to give them a call or sign up on their link and say, hey, I want to talk to you guys. I may not be able to join today, but let's do it. Same thing happened with Brett, which I wish he was here, but that'll be another time. But the one thing that I would say is, if there's one thing I can change within TU, there's really not a whole lot. But one thing I will say is, and it's not a TU thing, it's a whole industry thing, which is this is a volume game, guys. Just because you join TU doesn't mean you're going to make money. Just because you join TU, you're going to blow it out of the water right away. You still got to put in the work, right? And this is a volume game. So for me, I'm going to call it right now. Once again, I don't know their books. I don't know their numbers, okay? But for me, when I first saw RJ's 50-50-50 in 2024, this was my interpretation, okay? My interpretation was these guys are geniuses. Why? They want to lock up 50 deals in 50 days. So that means they're going to put 50 products on the shelves. Even if only 20% of them makes it to the finish line, which is what? 10. Even if only 10 out of those 50 gets paid on an average of $10,000 a deal, these guys are making $100,000 in the next 100 to 150 days. Who doesn't want $100,000 in the next 100, 150 days? So for me, I'm going, dude, I'm pretty sure they locked up more than 10. But for me, that was the thing. So for me, whenever I watch the Gurus, I always try to read between the lines. And for me, that was it. And so I'm here telling you guys now, if you join TU, don't be like, oh, Caesar, I joined TU, I haven't locked up any deal. Just because you're part of TU doesn't mean you're going to lock up deals, right? Because you still got to put in the work. Now, if you do put in the work, you have a higher chance of locking up your first deal in the first 30 days here than anywhere else because they've made it so simple. And you have the backing of the community. So that would be for me that I would change. I would just say, hey, guys, it's still a volume game any way you look at it, which I believe RJ mentions anyway.
Hustle is hustle at the end of the day. So I wouldn't necessarily say like there's a con with titanium, something that new people coming in need to understand, like with this hands-on help, call reviews, comp reviews, you got to be patient because you and about 40 others of us are also putting in call reviews at one time. And, you know, RJ's only got so much bandwidth, right? So you just got to be patient because it's going to happen. You know, he pre-vets them before he gets on, but still just be a little bit patient. And nonetheless, regardless, or I guess with that being said, no matter what you do, in the instant that you have a question about something, post in the titanium group, you will get an answer immediately. RJ replies so fast to anything that's posted in Facebook. It's insane.
Yeah.
You know, so, but like, as far as like a con goes, man, I can't really like, other than like, can we make a second RJ, you know, get a little bit more
an AI RJ?
Yeah. Right. Like, can we get a little bit more bandwidth from him?
Yeah.
So I just,
for me, it's not even that big of a con. I would say like the distance between me and like a lot of people in TU and, you know, them guys, like most people are in Texas and I'm like on the other side of the country. So for me, it'd be like an East Coast thing, like dealing with maybe a little bit at the times, how like some of just where the meetings are, nothing. Do you wish we had the meetings the same time every day or no? Do you like it how it is?
I would rather just have it the same time every day, so I know. Because there are times when I'm calling, and I'm like, oh, I got to look at my calendar to see when the implementation calls are. Where if I just know every day. That being said, it's not really as much of a con because they have a lot of people now, and so they have to accommodate everyone.
And it's not just about us. I completely
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, and they're in 6 other continents. I mean, we have people from Australia hopping on the call, and that's like
Yeah.
4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning.
For
for
me,
them.
it's
So,
we start the meetings the earliest for me on the East Coast, 11 a.m. And it's like, man, I love them little early meetings. For me, it's like the early meetings every day. If I could have it at 11 a.m. every day, man, that would be golden. But that's not even really that big of a deal, though.
Yeah.
yep.
Is that a con? I don't know.
No, and even whenever, honestly, the hustle they had when they were doing the, I forgot what they were. They weren't implementation calls, but they were the video calls, like training, back to basics. Yeah, back to basics, 9 a.m. for me. And I just know it's like 6, 7 a.m. for them. And, so it's crazy, but yeah.
Pretty impressive that we, between the three of us, we're trying to think in negative, like literally trying to think of negatives, and nobody can really do it. That's I guess that kind of tells everybody what they got to know.
There's so much to gain from it, dude. Book club. Holy cow. I joined book club, dude. Phenomenal. Way worth it. And honestly, that's way smaller than I think it should be. I think that there's so much to gain out of book club, and just like the opportunity to be able to call live with RJ. Like, what?
Networking with other killers,
Yeah, whenever he was doing that thing the other day with Jerry and RJ. Live, dude. I was shaking like a tree on a leaf, or a leaf on a tree. But good Lord, man. Like, it was just so awesome to be able to say, just get live feedback, Nobody else is doing that.
Absolutely.
But like you said, Caesar, it's not just you're not just going to buy your way into financial freedom just because you're getting into TU. Like, you still have to bust your ass. You still have to pick up that phone and smash the phones, as we say. Like you said, it's a volume game, and like if you truly want it, we're going to see that, and it's going to show.
Yeah. Yep. And one last thing, by the way, guys, I don't know if Nick's still on here. That's another great value that they have. They have someone like Nick, who's owned multiple 7-figure businesses, right?
Yeah, I get so much from them meetings too. I get so much from Nick's meetings.
Yeah, he just shows you like how to be a solopreneur, how to be an entrepreneur, how to scale, when you should be thinking of scaling. Why the fuck are you even thinking of scaling if you're not even 100% on your own? So like, just that added value, which is completely outside of the real estate. So I guess I want to end it with this, at least for me. You guys can keep going, but for me is the fact that you're paying into a real estate community, but you're getting a lot more than real estate knowledge and experience, right? You're getting knowledge and experience, feedback from guys who are doing deals every day, not sitting at the top of the hill on their horse with a pair of binoculars telling you what to do. These guys are in the trenches and they're telling you what you need to do, right? On top of that, you have someone like Nick who's going to show you like what type of mindset you should have, how you can elevate yourself, like completely outside of the wholesaling game, but more on the business side. You know what I mean? And then lastly, the community where someone like myself, Sean, Jacob, bro, like there are months when we're doing great, and there are months when I'm hurting. My first quarter this year, I was hurting. I'm barely just making out of it now. You know what I mean? But if I want to be vulnerable, all I have to do is just unmute myself during an implementation call. Whatever is being done that day is done. Now let's talk about Caesar, his situation, and how we as a community can help Caesar get out of it.
And can make it better, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, or just being able to build the relationships with people like me and Sean and Caesar, to have somebody to lean on as well. I like, we're so comfortable with it now, but like, I know that when I first joined, RJ and like even Caesar and like people in the community, like it seemed super intimidating. I'm 25. I was just selling cars and didn't really do anything extra. It's like, oh man, like this person's a big deal. Like, I don't know if they'll even want to put the time aside for me, coming in with that expectation and then just getting that blown right out the water, right out the gate is insane. I mean, there's times where I call people in the community all the time, Caesar and a bunch of other people, you know, just to talk about things, you know, not even necessarily just on the implementation call, you know, just like someone like a friend in the business, you know, like, hey.
Yep.
Right. Because if you are truly engulfing yourself, you're going to feel every emotion in the book because you feel it all. Like if you're wholesaling, there's days where it's amazing. There's days where you're in the dumps. Like, you know, it's good to have the group to bounce things off of and always have people there that'll support you and have been, you know, that are in the trenches too. Like Caesar said, like, you know, everyone that's going to be, you know, you're talking with in the group is in the trenches doing the same exact thing you're doing. So it's amazing to have, you know, other killers to bounce things off of and network off of. Like, look at Danny. Like if you get a property in South Dakota, like who can dispo a property in South Dakota? You know what I mean? Like we can just go to him and boom, it's done. You know what I mean? It's amazing. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, guys, we'll end it with that. Obviously, if you guys do decide to sign up, use my link. It's enough for 10 leads. So it's not like I'm making out of it like a bandit, but it does help a little. And if you guys have any questions, guys, DM me. I put my banner up there. DM Jacob. Jacob, if you want to drop
my
any
name
stuff.
Is my handle on every social media.
Yeah, same.
Perfect. Wonderful. Yeah, like reach out to us, guys. Get honest feedback. We'll tell you the pros, the cons, our experience. We got nothing to hide. And once again, Jacob, thank you very much, man. It's always a pleasure hopping on live calls with you. Say hello to your dad for me.
Absolutely.
Sean, thank you for hopping on.
Yeah,
and,
thank you for having me.
And I actually had a seller call me while we were doing that. So
Lordy, yeah, get to it, man.
I'm gonna make this one last call and then I am done for the day.
All right.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a good one.
See you guys later.
Till next time.